Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I'd like to appreciate you so much for supporting this channel, and every time you subscribe to this channel, every time you give us a like, that means a lot to this channel. Edwin SIFUNA decided to post a tweet, and this tweet, he was literally trying to communicate to Sakaja to avail certain measures, avail certain amenities during that mass protest day. That's on the 20th of March, on Monday, 2023. Of course, before I read to you that tweet, what Edwin SIFUNA is trying to exercise is that democratic right to peaceful demonstration. And since peaceful demonstration is enshrined in the Constitution, the expectations that police are supposed to protect people who are demonstrating so that they don't get harmed by people who are on the opposite side. Azimio One Kenya Alliance will be protesting on Monday. Of course, Raila Amolo Odinga has termed it as a march to the State House, but the expectation is that the police are supposed to support the call. They are supposed to protect these people demonstrating. So that's the reason why Edwin SIFUNA, the senator for Nairobi, decided to write a tweet. And in this tweet, Edwin SIFUNA made some specific requirements directly to the county governor. Before I read to you those details, kindly take your time and subscribe to this channel if you're a first-time viewer, or if you're a regular viewer who hasn't subscribed, just take your time to also subscribe. So Governor Sakaja should focus on preparing the city for our visitors on the 20th. We want clean public toilets, drinkable water in the CBD, our ambulances and medical facilities on standby, traffic marshals to guide traffic and protect the visitors. The statement is pretty clear and easy to understand.
A few days ago, we had traders from Nyamakima and the other areas, undertaking peaceful process in Nairobi. I didn't see the governor calling for dialogue between those Nyamakima traders and the China Square management, and the protest was peaceful. You didn't see us in Azimio condemning the Nyamakima protesters or saying, people's property needs to be protected. We want the governor to relax. We are the people who know how maandamano is done. We have every intention of exercising our rights under Article 37. And this fear-mongering, where they try to brand protests by sections of the population to be destructive, yet other sections of the population are allowed to conduct protests without any hindrance, is hypocrisy. Because as I said yesterday, this city belongs to all of us. In fact, this city belongs to Azimio. Out of the 17 constituencies, the voters in Nairobi gave us 13 members of parliament. We have the senator, we have the majority in the MCAs in the assembly. We also have the women representative and ODM. So we are telling the governor that we have just as many rights as those traders in Nyamakima to protest, to present petitions, and we do not want any interference from any governmental agency, and especially not from Nairobi, because we pay rates to Nairobi. What I want the governor to do, and I will be writing formally to him, is to ensure that on the 20th, all the county medical facilities are put at the disposal of any protesters that might get injured or hurt because of police action.
That the governor should avail, one, clean public toilets, so that wakati watu wanaandamana na kisikia kwamba ameshikwa na haja, then they can always use that. Drinkable water, so that when you feel exhausted, you can always use water to, So I think these things, if, like in one of the requests here, he mentioned ambulance. Well, ambulance mostly ni kama mtu amezimia, or probably if the police decide to use tear gas to disperse those protesters. Because you realize that there was a time last year when Governor Sonko, the former governor of Nairobi, said that walikuwa wanatumwa waende wakapige watu wa ODM, then wanatumwa waende wakachome magari, alafu yekewe kwamba hiyo ni watu wa ODM ndo wamefanya. Those are not my words, ladies and gentlemen. Sonko made these remarks at a past rally, and that rally was attended by William Samoei Ruto. Back then, he was the deputy president. So Sonko did make those kind of allegations. Most of the demonstrations have always been in Kenya previously. They have turned out to be chaotic, but most of the time, if Sonko's remarks are anything to go by, then you can say that the blame has always been on the government. Demonstrations will be carried, but if you look at the previous demonstration, like take a look at the demonstration of probably, was it 202, when Moi was handing over power. We can't say that a demonstration as per se, but the country was united under one party, one coalition. That was the Rainbow Coalition. Let's go to 207. 207, there were a lot of skirmishes. It was just more than demonstration that led to Kofi Annan coming to Kenya, and the rest is history. Let's go to 2013. I think 2013, that is where we saw again demonstrations here. That back then Raila was in a code formation known as CORD, whereby he was a flag bearer. So that also, I think that time Mudavadi vied for presidency, but alishindwa vibaya sana na Raila, even where he comes from. So the 2013 demonstrations a bit chaotic. 2017 also was chaotic because the police were involved. So that means that every time the police are involved in these demonstrations, they will always turn chaotic because the civilians and the police sometimes hawako pamoja. As much as the government, or the former government, wanted to have a pamoja kind of arrangement whereby the police and the civilians ni kama kitu kimoja, but I don't think that is going to work because the current regime will not have that policy implemented. Probably they will have a different take on this. So that's why whatever Edwin Sifuna has requested in this analysis, in the tweet that I just read to you, that's something that makes sense. It is something that Sakaja should avail. Sakaja should avail those things because he wants a peaceful demonstration, like he said. He made those claims in the previous press conference. He wants a peaceful demonstration because the county that will be affected the most is Nairobi County. Ladies and gentlemen, you all know how traffic is always affected in Nairobi. So that's why traffic marshals are supposed to be there to guide traffic. Those traffic marshals, they are supposed to be there to guide traffic and protect those visitors who shall have come to the county in purpose of demonstrating. So ladies and gentlemen, kindly share your opinions below in the comment section. Once again, I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.